Hey y'all, welcome back. I have been away so long. I haven't done a video in forever. If you're new to my channel, it's Dishing It with D. We talk about just about anything. Latest gossip, whatever's on your mind, whatever's on my mind. And I haven't been up here in a while. And the reason why, because I've been busy. I feel like I am busier than I was when I worked a full-time job in corporate America. Now I just got back from vacation in Tulum, and I went to Playa del Carmen. Well, let me tell you about this, because you know what? I'm really going to check out the next time I go on vacation somewhere. I'm going to check out Reddit and TikTok. Well, I did do some TikTok research, but I didn't know. We went to Tulum back in 2019, and we had a blast. My daughter and I, we have birthdays that are a day apart in July. So we decided to go back again because we enjoyed ourselves so much. Well, this time it looked like we were in the slums, child. All the places was closed down. I'll show a few pictures of it. The places will look like they were burned out. It looked very deserted. And it just wasn't what the feel wasn't like it was. It was super expensive. It wasn't like that in 2019. It just did not have the crowd of people there. It just wasn't the same. But what we did was we went to Playa del Carmen, where we flew into Tulum, took a taxi or driver to Playa, stayed there for 3 or 4 days. Let's say 3 days, I believe. Yeah, 3 days. Now that was a blast. I mean, oh my gosh, that place was lit. It was hot as heck. Nobody was out in the street during the day because it was like 100+ degrees. But during the night, the town lit up. And we stayed right on the street, like just right on the strip. You know, walk right down out of our Airbnb and we're on the street. We didn't have to taxi anywhere. It was a fun time. Very colorful. The people are just nice and friendly. But the only thing is, the catch is, you don't want to hurt the little kids' feelings. But everybody's always coming up to kids trying to sell you little trinkets, conch shell bracelets and necklaces and whatever else they can sell to you, and you just get kind of tired of it. Even when you're sitting in a restaurant, they're hanging in, because a lot of the restaurants are indoor, outdoor. They're hanging in from the outside, reaching over, trying to sell you a flower, a rose, or whatever, trinket, or whatever they can. And you just get tired of giving them dollars, okay? And they even had signs up like big boobs, big boob women get in free, or get a drink or a shot free or something, just trying to pull you in. That's what the restaurants was doing. Big booty, big boobs, you name it, whatever the gimmick that they could do to get you in there. But at least we had a great time. It was wonderful. Lots of people were there, so it was very lively. Then we hopped over to Tulum and stayed 4 days there. And it was, like I say, virtually like a ghost town, because we went Wednesday. Yeah, we flew in, Saturday to Playa, stayed from Saturday to Wednesday, then had our driver to drive us over to Tulum Wednesday, and stayed Wednesday night through Sunday. And Tulum is like, it's a weekend place now. It was a ghost town up until like Thursday night, picked up a little bit, but Friday. And then everybody leaves on Sunday. So, but yeah, it's just way too expensive. It's super expensive. It's almost like Turks and Caicos. And Turks and Caicos is really, really expensive. And I would not recommend going there at all. Went there last year, and that place was Noah's Ark. It's the only reason why people go there, because Drake put it out there. It's like, it ain't no Noah's Ark, y'all. It's a raggedy raft looking construction with people hanging off of it. It's just wall to wall Negroes. It was too much for me. And like I say, and it was too expensive. The only thing that you have to take a long boat ride over to get to Noah's Ark. And that was the best time I had during the whole week stay that I stayed in Turks and Caicos. But anyways, enough about that. It was so hot out there. I just feel like my color's still not back because I got bronzed, let's just say that, because it was so hot out there. But anyways, but that's what I've been doing. But anyways, what I want to just talk about a little bit today is, have y'all been watching the DNC? Oh my goodness. I'm hooked. I love politics. I love this time of year. I watched the whole the RNC. People like, I think we need to, I think you need to watch the Republican National Convention as well as the Democrat National Convention. You always want to know what your opponent is up to. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your you got to keep the people close to you, your opponents close to you so you know what they're up to. That's why I always like to watch not only CNN. My husband, he said, you got to watch the Fox News because you want to know what those idiots are talking about. Okay. So, but yeah, I watched the RNC and they brought it. They really, really had some it was very live and entertaining. But the DNC, honey, the women are ruling. Okay. The women, in my opinion, are ruling. Okay. Hillary Clinton did very well. Of course, Jasmine Crockett, she did good. We've had some good speakers, but I'm telling you, Oprah did well last night. Michelle Obama just took the cake on, what night is it? This is Thursday. This is the last night. So Michelle did Tuesday night. And Barack Obama had to follow her. Big mistake. Now, Barack, because he's our beloved president, former president, and he did well, or he did good. Let's just put it that way. But Michelle, she brought it home, honey. She brought it home. And she had her little, first of all, she came out with braids on. So right then I knew the sister was getting ready to check a few people. And she seemed like she had a lot of stuff that was built up all them 8 years that she was in there. And she had to take that crap from Trump and all the MAGA folks and just all that noise and rhetoric that she had. She came, her guns was, well, I won't say guns, but she came loaded and ready to shoot and aim, honey. And you know who she was aiming at. But yeah, she came, like I said, sister had a brace in her hair and she was like, okay, I'm gonna rock whatever style I want to rock. And she came with the sass and the clapbacks and put Trump right in his place and all his MAGA folks that follow him, okay? So yeah, and I think, like I say, last night, Oprah did a really, really good job, in my opinion. But we had a lot of good speakers last night. I think Cory Booker. Oh, and I love the little skit that Keenan did from Keenan Kale. He did, and he brought the whole big book out with the Project 25 and all that. And he had the people come up there that was related to things that were going to impact them and all that. That was a really good skit. I love the John Legend and Sheila E. rendition of Prince's song. So anyways, yeah, so it was a lot of good speakers last night. I really do believe that Bill Clinton had he was maybe a little senile and thinking that he was the keynote speaker. You're not, sir. Sir, you were not the keynote speaker. You were not the keynote speaker. The keynote speaker was going to be Tim Walz. He was going to accept the nomination for VP, okay, for the party. He got up there and he went so long and he was so drawn out and we could barely understand him. He was giving us Biden a little bit. He was hoarse. And, Bill's always been, President Bill Clinton has always had a kind of that groggy, scratchy throat type, thing. But he was like hardly able to speak above a whisper. And he was like, he made a few good little clapbacks at Trump and what have you about the age. And because he said he is younger than, Trump by, I think, a month or two. Both of them 78 years old. But he was saying that to say, when he ran, he was much younger than that, of course. But he was saying that he knows what it feels like because he's the same age he is. So, you ain't got no business running. Let somebody younger do this, okay? But yeah, but Bill was up there and put everybody to sleep. I was multitasking. I had my phone, I had my other thing on. I was listening to some podcasts. I was like, is he done? Is he done yet? I don't mean no harm, Bill, but I just couldn't stay focused. I couldn't stay focused on what you was talking about. So, and Hillary came the night before, which she knocked it out the park. And Hillary still seems strong. And, she's, I think, only 2 years younger than him. I think she's 76, he's 78. But she was strong. And anyways, but Bill took up all the time from everybody else. Everybody else had to abbreviate, seem like their speech. And Tim Walsh got up there, which was the keynote speaker, and he didn't speak, I think he got up there about 11:30. He was done at like 11:42. He didn't even, do a long, drawn out speech or anything, which is what he should have been doing because he is the VP nominee. Bill Clinton, he lost it. I think when he got up there, he probably got, some flashbacks and thinking he was the president and giving some type of, address the nation speech or something, because he just went on and on and on and on and on. But anyways, but what I'm looking forward to tonight, because here's the thing. We've had a lot of momentum leading into the Democratic Party has had a lot of momentum leading into the DNC. And the DNC has delivered, okay? Because at first I was like, are they going to beat the RNC? But they have delivered. They have gotten, the energy is there. The energy is there. They had the entertainment, the guest speakers. It's been there. But we've heard enough about hope. We've heard enough about fear of what if Trump gets into office another 4 years, what's going to happen. We've heard about freedom. We done heard freedom, hope, and fear. Now, Kamala, tonight, you got to bring it, sister. You got to bring it. You got to bring it, because we want to hear, we don't want to, give us this gloss of what you're proposing. We want you to tell us how you are planning to execute the things that you are promising us. Okay. So you've got to come deep, and I hope that she does. And like I say, all these women, the DNC has been nothing but about women. These women have brought it. They have put the men, just shut them down. They shut them completely down. Okay. They're good, but the women have been really, really great. So Kamala, you got some real tough acts to follow tonight. And we want to hear what you really are about, what you're really promising us, sister. Okay. You got us out here wearing our chucks and pearls, all of this for you. We want to know what you're going to do for us, okay? And how you plan to execute this. All that stuff sounds good, but we got to have a little meat on it. We got to have a little meat on the bone tonight, and we're looking to hear that from you. Okay. All right. Well, enough about politics. What else is going on in the news? Well, not even the news, in the internet space, okay? There's been some things that's been going on in the reality TV space that I just want to just touch a little bit on. And that one thing, I'm not going to talk about all of them, but, I think everybody been talking about, Jennifer Lopez divorcing Ben Affleck. And I'm so happy. I'm not going to speak long on that. Ben has not looked like himself. What was Ben on? Ben did something. What was it? And I told my husband, it was that roast. The roast that they did with the Brady guy. Oh, Tom Brady. And he just didn't look like himself. He just was off. He was off. He was not on. And I was like, and just the photos that we're seeing of him, he just haven't looked happy. He don't look like himself. This woman is giving him some type of, I was afraid that he was going to have some type of mental breakdown or something. So I'm happy that she's divorcing him. Jennifer Lopez is a lot, okay? Jennifer Lopez is, I'm sure, a lot to deal with. And giving this man his space and you getting yours is the best thing for both of them. Now, what I don't want to happen is, because I know Ben Affleck and his baby mama, well, his former ex, former wife that he shares children with, Jennifer Gardner. They were seen together. But everybody went wild and saying, oh, they were seen together, they vacationing and all this, da, 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 da. No, 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 no. The word on the curb is that they were actually dropping off doing what co-parenting is supposed to do. Their daughter started Yale, I believe, this fall, as a freshman. And they were there as a unit to take, the kids to school. I mean, to drop her off respectfully at, especially being the first year. So anyways, but, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, he, in those moments when they're together, he's probably sharing, oh my goodness, and probably feel comfortable talking with her about his relationship with Jennifer. And, let's just hope she don't soothe his wounds too much, in their conversations about this and his relationship, that it messes up her relationship with her boo that she's been with for 6 years, I think, which she got together with him a couple of weeks right after he divorced her, being the two of them divorced. So anyways, but enough of that. I'm happy. I hope all parties are happy. Because Ben, I want you to look back like yourself again, get your life back, get your zest for living back, post J-Lo, okay? Because J-Lo just can't keep a man. I don't know. She run all the men away. I don't know. Or she just tired of them quickly. I don't know. I guess those are the worries that you have as the it girl. She thinks she's the it girl, and when she don't want you no more, she don't want you no more. She's ready to move on to somebody else. And maybe that's what it was, that she just don't want him no more. And she won't happy, and she made his life miserable, and it looked like it. Okay? But get your life back, man. Jen will survive. I mean, I keep saying Jen. J-Lo will survive because she'll be on to the next victim. Okay. All right. The next thing we want to talk about a little bit about is the Braxtons. And yes, I did say the Braxtons, not the Braxtons Family Values. Now, they came on, I think now it's been 2 weeks, 2 episodes, because tomorrow will be the 3rd episode. Let me tell you this. I hesitated about actually looking at this because, all the clips was the trailer and all this when it was showing Traci in her, last hospice moments and things. I don't know how I felt about that. I didn't know how I felt about that. And that just seemed like, to me, that was something that happened, and especially it happened where she's been deceased now for 2 years. That's something that, everybody has kind of dealt with and kind of dealt with that absence of her and the grief and the pain and all that of her, because Traci was a beloved one of the Braxtons. And everybody liked her, you know what I'm saying? She had a lot of fans and stuff, and now it's just kind of like opening up a gaping wound again. It's like ripping off the stitches, or even hell, the stitches ain't even there. Just ripping off, I mean, the skin is coming up and exposing the stitches that was there, and it's just, I just don't know how I felt. I didn't know how I felt about it, so I said I wasn't gonna watch it because I just felt like it might have been exploitation on the sister's behalf, because, Traci, if you're familiar with this show, I watched it from day one. Traci was always considered the outsider. She just did not seem like she was a part of the clique, and it just felt like, to me, it was the mean girl club in the inner circle of the sisters. It was always Tamar and Tony, because they lived on the West Coast in LA. And then you had Trina and Towanda, who lived in Atlanta. And they just kind of clicked up and, naturally kind of, gravitated towards each other. And it was then Traci over here on the East Coast, up in the DMV area with her dad and, her family and her brother, in which her brother's not a part of the show. So it didn't really give her any sense of an alliance with anyone. And it just kind of seemed like they just never treated her really well and respected her to the fullest. And this is what they showed on the show. So I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they chose to show on the show. And she just seemed like the outsider, and she didn't seem to belong, and they didn't seem to embrace her like that. So, but now she's gone, and you want to utilize those last moments of her transitioning in hospice care and air that on the show and say that it was Traci's final wishes to do so. Now here, so what I did was I had to step back and think about it. I said, okay, maybe, because I remember when they took a pause and nobody else came back to do the Braxton's, the Braxton family values, but Traci, and they had to bring in Phaedra and other folks to fill in the gap just so that they could film, because Traci said she needed her coins. She needed those dollars. So I thought about it from that perspective. I said, well, maybe she did. Because I know her son is going to show me in some of the episodes and what have you. So maybe this was her last way of being able to protect her family, her immediate family, and have some money for her grandson, her son, and what have you. And they get her share of the cut of the money from the new Braxtons. Maybe that. So when I thought about that, I said, well, maybe, because I remembered back that she was the only one who went back and did that show when everybody else walked, because they was trying to hold out, and they said they want to get paid like the Kardashians and all this. So I said, well, maybe she just want to be able to care for her family beyond her demise. So I decided to break down, and I watched it. It was tough. It was tough looking at that. I know if I personally, was, had cancer and in my final days, I probably wouldn't even want nobody even there, let alone the ones that got to care for me, let alone tape it and then have people see that. I can't. I just can't. But, they said it was her final wishes. They went ahead and did it. It has evoked a lot of response on social media. Tamar herself, has pretty much kind of distanced herself from her family and says that, she's posted a bunch of stuff about the family, the girls, and the show, and she was a friend of the show. She didn't even want to do the show, thankfully, to her man or not man, JR, whatever their status of their relationship is, that he was the one that encouraged her to actually do the show. Now, truth be told, ain't nobody, even Tony, that they say she's doing a residency now in Vegas with Cedric the Entertainer. I don't know anything about it. I went there and I was in Vegas earlier this year, in June? I think we went June or something. Anyways, I went to see Linnell, the comedian. I didn't know nothing about no Tony had no Vegas residency with Cedric the Entertainer. I didn't know nothing about that. But they said on the show that she does. And I don't know when it was or if she still do. I don't know. But back to my point is, none of them doing nothing. I mean, Tamar is still, she had her sold out tours and doing her stuff. And she's been on, college celebrity, College Hill, celebrity edition and stuff. Tamar is always doing something to get a bag. But the rest of them, I don't know what they're doing. So they really did probably need Tamar. And everybody know nobody's going to tune in to the Braxton family values if Tamar's up there. I'm not. I mean, love or hate Tamar. Tamar brings her personality, brings the craziness, the entertainment, the singing, and all the antics and all of the shenanigans and the beef or whatever it is that they may have amongst each other. She brings that. That's the level of excitement people want to see in reality TV. Nobody wants to see these other girls, if there is no Tamar. So Tamar did them a favor, but what I want to say is that, I also looked at a lot of the press that, the girls were doing. Tamar didn't do any of the press. Tony didn't do any of the press to, promote the show. It was Trina and Towanda. They need that coin, okay? And when some of the interviews I listened to, it just, when they asked about, there was one on a radio station that's local to Atlanta. I think it's V103, maybe 105, but one of them call numbers. And they actually asked, where's Tamar? And they were like, they kind of gave a look or something. And they said, well, how's Tamar? She said, oh, she's good or something like that. But it was a look because the DJ that was interviewing them said, they was like, why? What are you looking at me like this for? Why are you looking at me like this for? He said, watch the playback. It was a look on your face, how you look when we asked about Tamar. So, they're not kosher with Tamar, and I know a lot of people, like I say, love or hate Tamar, but I don't know. I feel a spirit of jealousy and amongst them, because think about it. All the girls was on the same kind of level of playing field when it comes to celebrity, celebrityness, when they started this show, except for Toni, of course. Everybody know the songstress Toni Braxton, but nobody else knew the other ones. Tamar was married to Vince, who was actually Lady Gaga's manager or something like that, but nobody knew Tamar. Tamar came onto the scene and just in the true reality fashion, just like any other reality show, she became the breakout star. And just like anybody else, like Nene, the breakout star of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you go on, Dr. Heavenly, the breakout star of, Married to Medicine, her and Quad. There's always going to be somebody that the fans love, you know what I'm saying? Or love more than others, and they tend to be the breakout stars. And those are the ones who get the most hate from the other cast members. It don't matter if they're your sisters or not. Sisters or your mama or whoever, they all on the same cast. I feel a little hate is going on against Tamar. And Tamar came out and said that, she was mad at Toni because Toni didn't welcome her man into the family, meaning JR. Now, her and JR had a lot of issues and stuff. Now, Tamar, here's what you should do. I think you're learning to do this a little bit, but keep your private business like that off the internet. And we done told you that. You don't post too much. And when you post stuff like that, and when you post that you're happy, people going to dig. Now, if you were, if things are going bad, people ain't going to dig for that. They're just going to talk about it. They're just going to trash you. They're going to just talk about you. But if your stuff is going good, they're going to find something to pick that man apart. They're going to find something to pick you apart, because you know what? Misery love company. And most of these people who are behind these keyboards, sitting in a basement somewhere and got nobody and got nothing but time. Nothing but time on their hands to talk about you and drag you in the mud, okay? So give them less. Less is more. Less is more. But yeah, back to the Braxtons though. I watched, like I said, both episodes, and it's like I say, they're tearjerkers. Both of them are pretty much tearjerkers, and just the two things that I took away from it, like I say, is the whole thing with Traci and just rehashing old wounds. We want to remember Traci in her light-spirited manner and not in this way. We know she was sick with cancer. We know what cancer can do to people in the body in the last days of your, last stage of your journey of that. We didn't need to see that. We didn't need to see it. We just didn't need to see it. I mean, truth be told, we didn't need to see it. We want to remember her in her, like I say, in her lighthearted laughter and jokes and crazy hair colored wigs and so forth. We didn't need to see that, and then also the division of the family now is playing out with, everybody kind of, I won't even say everybody. From the looks of it, on the second episode, it's really Tamar and Towanda. And Towanda is supposed to be the responsible one, but I think she is the one that is the most jealous because she hasn't really done anything. She says she's got a movie or something come out, probably on Tubi or somewhere, but she's the one that really hasn't done the most. And she lost her husband in the process of this thing too. she got rid of him because she said he didn't work or whatever. And now she's got a man that she's been with forever and they're not even married and living together. So I don't know. But she just seemed, seemed to be somewhat envious of Tamar. But then again, she may be just, like she said, she's protecting her peace. She create boundaries and meet people where they are. That's what she said. And I guess with all the things that the negativity around JR and Tamar, maybe the sisters are just like, okay, I'm going to kind of remove myself from that because they don't want to be negative by association or guilty by association. So it could be some of that too. But like I said, it's just giving me mean-spirited, mean girl, ice out, that kind of thing. I'm going to ice you out. Everybody that been in a circle or in whether it's in middle school, high school, college, post-college, adult years, where you've had circles where you've got girls that, you've always got one mean one. And I say mean because they are mean, but they're the ringleader of the group where everybody, for some reason, feels as though that they have to follow them. And if they don't follow them, they feel like they will be iced out the group too. And, I'm a leader. I'm not a follower myself. So I'm just like, I can't do that. I had a friend circle a few years back, right before COVID, and we had the same situation. There's always somebody that want to be the Queen Sheba, the HBIC, when we all could be on equal footing and just have a great time. And nobody have to kiss nobody, to feel like they belong in a circle. And I think, like I say, I'm kind of feeling that and getting a little, I'm going to keep watching because I'm going to watch. It comes on 9:30 on Friday. I'm going to watch the next time. I'm not going to probably watch it at real time, but I'm going to watch it over the weekend sometime and see how that one fares. And if my theory is correct about Towanda, because like I say, she, is driving kind of the narrative right now with the whole alopecia thing and the bald head and all that stuff. And then also, because, they're always supposed to cut their hair off. They said when Traci first started her journey with cancer in solidarity with her. But we know Tamar, because I remember when Tamar was rocking her bald head, and I guess that was part of that whole thing that they were doing with the solidarity. And next thing I know, then I saw Towanda doing it. So I was like, I didn't know they were doing that because of Traci, but it has just appeared that she was, trying to copy Tamar, because Tamar was getting a lot of comments and, whether they were positive or not so positive, related to that, her, shaving her head and what have you. And then she shaved hers, and she said, now she's saying that, it was all part of having alopecia and all of that. So, and so she wanted a storyline too, now it's like, I don't know. I don't know about, I know how, what was it? The girl name escaped me, Will's wife, Jay, what's her name? Gosh, I can't even think of her name. But anyways, Will Smith, Jayla Smith's wife, and Jayla, his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. And she, with her whole bald-headed alopecia stuff and all of that, and we ain't even gonna get into that. But anyways, we know how much was around that, the topics around it, and people, talked about it and what have you. So I'm kind of wondering whether or not Towanda is trying to, get, like I say, just kind of have a little momentum around her and a little, energy around her this season, because what else are we going to talk about her? Okay. So anyways, what else? That was the only thing that I really wanted to cover in the news, in the entertainment news, but I'm ready to watch the final night of the DNC. As a matter of fact, it's 5:26 right now, Eastern Standard Time. I got to try to find something to cook, so that we can actually have something to eat while we're actually watching the DNC. Now the first, what was it, Tuesday night? Tuesday night we did a crab boil. My family, because my daughter from DC, she was home. My other daughter that lives in the area, she was over. We all came up, we did a crab boil and chicken wings and just a whole bunch of food that we cooked and all sat around and watched that night. That was the night that Barack and Michelle actually, spoke. So, yeah, and we ate leftovers last night. So I don't know what I'm cooking tonight. I don't. Matter of fact, I don't even feel hungry. So I don't know. I'm going to see what my husband might want to eat, because I could really just do a salad or something, because I eat one meal a day and that's it. That's good enough for me. So, yeah. All right. Well, thanks you for joining. And what I want you all, like I say, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is free. Like I said, it's free. Don't cost you a thing. Don't cost you a thing. And hit that like button. And also hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop another video. And we'll see you soon.